You won't believe what happened when a billionaire mocked a single dad janitor in Arabic, thinking he wouldn't understand a word. What the janitor replied with seconds later left the entire room silent, and it changed lives forever. Stay with me until the end, because this story will move your heart and remind you why respect is worth more than money. And if you find yourself touched by this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more real, soul-stirring stories. The story begins in the marble halls of a skyscraper in Dubai, where wealth was flaunted like perfume in the air. The billionaire, Karim Al-Hakim, was known not only for his fortune but also for his arrogance. To him, the world was divided into two kinds of people, those who served, and those who deserved. He walked into his glass-walled office one morning, the city stretching out beneath him, his tailored suit shining in the light, and his watch worth more than an entire year of a working man's salary. Outside his office, a janitor quietly pushed his mop across the polished floors. His name was Samir. A single father, his hands carried the weight of two lives, his own and his young daughter's. She was only 7, a bright girl who dreamed of becoming a doctor, and every stroke of Samir's mop, every callus on his hand, every late night of aching bones was for her. His wife had passed away years earlier, leaving him to fill both roles, protector and nurturer, provider and comforter. But to Karim, Samir was invisible. Just another shadow in the grand palace of wealth. That day, Karim had guests from abroad, powerful men in tailored suits. They spoke in Arabic, laughing loudly, their words sharp as knives but sweetened with the tone of camaraderie. Samir, bent low over the floor, caught fragments of their conversation. He was quiet, humble, but his eyes revealed something most had missed: depth, wisdom, and a silence that was not ignorance but patience. Karim glanced at Samir and smirked, then switched to a sharper tone in Arabic. Look at him. A man wiping floors while real men build empires. He probably doesn't even understand a word we're saying. Some people are born to serve, and some are born to rule. The guests chuckled. One even added, if this is the best his life could give him, then perhaps God himself has abandoned him. The laughter echoed in the hall like a cruel storm. Samir paused for a moment, his hand tightening on the mop handle. He could have stayed silent, he always did. But something inside him stirred. His dignity, his daughter's dreams, and the knowledge that respect should never be a privilege for the rich, but a right for every human being. He straightened his back slowly, turned, and looked directly at Karim. And then, in flawless, eloquent Arabic, far more refined than the broken dialect Karim used, Samir spoke. His voice was calm, but it carried centuries of wisdom. Do not mock the hands that clean, Karim. For these hands carry more honor than the tongue that ridicules. The Prophet himself said, the best of people are those who bring the most benefit to others. Tell me, who benefits more, the man who sweeps away dirt, or the man who spreads it with arrogance? The laughter stopped instantly. The room fell into a heavy silence, broken only by the hum of the city outside. The guests looked at each other, their smiles fading into shame. Karim's face flushed red, not with anger, but with something he had not felt in years: humiliation. Samir did not stop there. He lifted his chin slightly, his words flowing like poetry from an ancient river. Power is a test, wealth is a test. But the way you treat the weakest among you reveals the true weight of your soul. I may wipe floors, Karim, but I walk clean of pride. Can you say the same? Karim's lips trembled, his arrogance dissolving in front of everyone. He had mocked a man he assumed was uneducated, but instead, he had awakened an ancient grace, the dignity of humility that no billions could buy. The guests, men of influence themselves, turned their attention not to Karim, but to Samir. One of them approached, placing a respectful hand on the janitor's shoulder. Brother, forgive us. We forgot ourselves. Another added softly, wisdom is not in wealth but in words such as yours. That moment shifted the entire room. The guests who had come to admire Karim's wealth now left questioning his character. Samir returned to his work without asking for recognition, without demanding apology. For him, his daughter's smile at home was all the reward he needed. But the impression he left was undeniable. Later that night, Karim sat alone in his penthouse.